Welcome to the ChristiTutionalist Politics podcast show. Over time, the fancy high production items will come. But for now, for starters, it is just you as a listener that I can barely begin to express how much I appreciate you tuning in. As I know you have a lot of options. As Listen Notes, the podcast platform reports, there are about 168.9 million plus available podcast show episodes you could choose from, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. As indeed it is just me on the podcast outside for now, all substance, no muss, no fuss, no fluff, no fancy or flashy high production inserts, just straight to the key discussion points. A show that looks at a variety of topics, mostly politics, through a Christian U.S. constitutionalist lens, hence the ChristiTutionalist Politics show name. I am your host, Joseph M. Lenard, and last name is spelled Lenard, author, co-host the Savage Unfiltered podcast, and for purposes of this show, most notably, blogger for thelibertybeacon.com, which most of the content for this show will be derived, food for thought you can then delve deeper into via my online articles and reach your own conclusion. And as Graham Norton would say, let's get on with the show! Greetings, everyone. ChristiTutionalist Politics, an odd episode. Season 1, episode unnumbered. This is one of those off the wall, kind of off the cuff, almost really, to be honest, last minute decision to do a weekday drop because as I'm staring at Newsmax in the background, Jim Jordan did not become Speaker on the first round of voting after Steve Scalise couldn't become Speaker. And before I forget, also, the title, we're going to talk about Liz Cheney, all right? But first, the background image you see there, Kevin McCarthy. Obvious why. He was deposed as Speaker. Now, I know people on both sides, so I'm not going to get into this about whether he was good or bad. Now, I will say about Kevin, Ryan was better than Boehner, and McCarthy better than Ryan, but promises were broken. So for better or worse, and I'm hoping for better, because how long have we all been screaming at the GOP? Enough with the Democrat light. Enough with the same old way of doing things in D.C. Too much go along to get along. Promises were made. Some of them were kept. Not all of them were. Not enough of them were. So some in D.C., on the GOP side, finally woke up and said, we've got leverage, just like we did when we got promises from Kevin McCarthy for him to get the speakership after 15 ballots. Leverage. And about damn time some grew a spine and are using that leverage. A lot of conservatives have left the GOP. They're upset that, again, too much of the same old, who's the next in line garbage. Now, again, McCarthy got us better than Ryan, who got us better than Boehner, but we can't wait anymore with the DC games. We need to break the line of secession. No more who's next. And I like Jim Jordan. I absolutely love Steve Scalise. I would have been happy had Scalise become Speaker. I will be happy if indeed Jim Jordan becomes Speaker. But my point here is that if we are truly going to send the message to conservatives that left the party, it's different now. No more same old, same old. We're breaking the mold. We're breaking the usual rules the way they're played in DC. And we're taking a giant leap to moving the GOP back to the right, back to the platform, moving the Overton window of the GOP, if you will, and hopefully then the Overton window of the entire nation away from the slow motion, more and more left, yanking it back to the right. Now, I say all that because, again, I like Jordan. I love Scalise. I could be happy with either of them. But the point is, we finally had some grew a spine and said, we're using our leverage. And they still are as of today. Let me look at the calendar, right? Tuesday, October 17th, 2023. I'm recording this after the failed vote to try to elevate Jordan to the speakership. We have leverage. It's about time we use it. McCarthy promised better on spending reductions. And of course, what did we get? A continuing resolution that gave Democrats all the spending they wanted again for another 90 days. So enough people said, you refuse to shut down the government, so then we have leverage with control of the House to dictate real cuts, not just 0.1% in projected growth over the next 10 years and pretending that's a cut. That's not. We need to push towards baseline, zero-based budgeting. You get zero. Come tell us what you want, what you think you need, and justify that money. And if it's not authorized in the Constitution, it's not authorized by Congress, no, you don't get it. We'll give you X, not Z. Are we going to get everything we want? Of course not. Absolutely. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly. Realism here. Realism you're going to get. But if you're not willing to shut down the government, to use the leverage to at least get something for a change, rather than the same old, Democrats basically get everything they want, that's got to come to an end. So are we going to get everything? No, but it's about time that Democrats don't get everything they want, that we start to lower these deficits, let alone get anywhere close to a surplus to be able to pay down debt. Because with Bidenflation, runaway inflation, interest rates are climbing, the amount we're going to be spending on interest is getting out of control. It's getting to be the biggest item in the budget, to pay the interest of the debt just to be able to not go bankrupt, which of course the left, Cloward and Piven, if you don't know them, look it up. That's what Bidenomics is about. Cloward and Piven, destruction and bankrupting of our nation. But back to the speaker. Some have leverage and said, if you're not going to shut down the government, we're shutting down the damn House. And you know what? I agree with that. It's about time, again, somebody use leverage to get something our direction. Again, this isn't going to end beautifully or perfectly, but back to Jordan and Scalise. Would be happy with either, but now is the time. We've shown We've deposed a speaker. Things are not the same. And if we want to convince people to come back to the party, that it really is different, we cannot do the Jordan or Scalise, hey, the next rich white guy in line, let's just elevate them. Yeah, Jordan Scalise would be better than McCarthy, who was better than Ryan, who was better than Boehner. But now my point is, the time to show we are really actually doing things different and out of the box. We need somebody like a Kevin Hearn, whose name is floated. Will he be perfect? Absolutely not. Perfect is not reality. We're not going to get perfect. There is no perfect. And you can't pass on good in pursuit of perfection you will never have. But Kevin Hearn, and I'm not going to go into all the reasons why he would be a great other option, not immediately in the secession chain of command, the top, 3-4 next in line maneuver, signal to the base. It's different. We skipped the next in line. We're going with him or Byron Donalds or whomever out of the norm. And Kevin Hearn from Oklahoma, flyover country, not the usual power broker state. That would be a positive signal to the conservatives who left. Hey, it's different. Time to come back. We must win in 2024. Things are indeed finally going in the right direction. Now, I'm finally going to mention Liz Cheney 10 minutes and 45 seconds into the main crux of the show, that this show is titled after, special edition October 2023 of ChristiTutionalist Politics. But I said all that to set up this. Oh, and did I say, I don't remember if I said, the Kevin McCarthy photo in the background, courtesy of Associated Press. Got to give them proper accreditation for the photo, and obvious why that's my background today, since we're talking about this. Liz Cheney, some lunatic in the GOP, indeed floated the idea of Liz Cheney for speaker. All right, now I've already said I'm dealing realism. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly, the whole picture. Like season 1, episode 2, Charlie Kirk goes on and on and on about McConnell and Murkowski and the Alaska rhinos creating the dumb jungle ranked choice primary. Yeah, that was a mess. It's dumb. I wrote about it. I covered season 1, episode 2. Please check that out. But I give you the whole story, unlike Charlie Cook. Ranked choice has been used all kinds of places. It can be great. I've been supporting it for decades, trying to get it in Michigan. A jungle primary can be okay. Also, if done right in the right places, I could support that. But never, ever do you combine the two to make that mess. Like Louisiana, Landry just won the governorship, Republican, away from the Democrats, a +1 already in governorships for Republicans, signaling good things for 2024. So now's the time to fight, not surrender. Fight. Show people now's the time to come back to the GOP from these other parties that are meaningless, worthless, going nowhere, going to elect nobody. But yeah, Landry, Louisiana, won a jungle primary there, got 51% of the vote. So he elevates to the governorship, no runoff needed. So there are instances where those are a good thing. Charlie Cook only tells you the bad. I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Season 1, episode 2. But that's off the beaten path. Kevin Hearn, again, from a flyover state. That signals to the base, hey, it's not the normal backdoor cigar smoking with the lobbyist power brokering, who's next in line manure. So that would be a big signal to the base and others. Things are different. Haven't we been screaming for different? But yet now there's a lot of people out there all of a sudden who are screaming about rhinos, all of a sudden siding with rhinos, whining about the speakership being vacated. People are demanding change and different. Finally, we're getting some of it. So stop poo-pooing it, please. Again, is there going to be a perfect option or choice? No, there are just some better choices than others. And again, like Jordan, love Scalise, but we got to go beyond the DC swamp. This is how it's done. Who's next in line? Congratulations. The job is now. No. We are now signaling things are different. We need to continue to show, don't tell, like the Rush, Canadian rock group, not Limbaugh, the Canadian rock group Rush from their Presto album. Show, don't tell. I do a bad Geddy Lee impression, but so pardon the off-key singing. But show me, don't tell me. Shut up, FTF up, as the saying goes, STFU, right? Enough of the blowing hot air, empty rhetoric. Show us different. Some people are finally attempting to show you different. Give them support in changing things. Better or worse, I think for the better. I hope for the better. If nothing else, about damn time. Sorry, yeah, I'm going to swear. About damn time something different is happening. Okay? Oh, there's an okay. I may as well throw in an all right, my actual crutch, rather than not knowing where to go. Because again, this is kind of all off the cuff. I jotted down a couple of notes that Limbaugh style on in my formerly nicotine stained hand, if you can hear me rustling the paper, or at JLenardDetroit YouTube or Rumble channel, this will be up for you to see. Season 1, October 2023 special edition of ChristiTutionalist Politics. So back to Liz Cheney, finally. Sorry. The good, the bad, the ugly, right? Reality. You're not going to just get one side spin, no party hackism from me, no just conservative slant hackism from me. You're going to get all of it, all the pros, all the cons. Liz Cheney. First thing that comes to anyone's mind, Trump derangement syndrome and the impeachment. Yes, Liz Cheney got tossed out on her can because her Trump derangement syndrome was just so over the top and all-consuming that the people of Wyoming said, we can't have you there if your sole focus is to be anti-Trump, our president at the time, all the time. It's out of control. It's ridiculous. But Liz Cheney's voting record, I'd like to talk to you about that. If you took her conservative voting record, she's got great scores with most conservative firms that rank those things. You take her voting record, subtract out the impeachment TDS garbage, put it in front of a Republican, and here's a sad admission, we've got snowflakes on the right too. Yeah, emotionally hysterical. I keep saying principles, not personalities, but unfortunately, yeah, there are some right-wing snowflakes. And you put Liz Cheney's voting record in front of people, oh, hey, that's Donald Trump's voting record. He's got to be president. Trump was never in the House or the Senate. He could either sign or veto bills. He didn't get to vote on them in Congress. So aside from those snowflakes, I'm talking to you thinking people, logic and reason people. Cheney's voting record, you put it in front of them without her name on it. It's like, oh, wow, this has got to be our Republican nominee for president in 2024. But then if you tell them it's Liz Cheney, watch the freak out happen, as it should, because in the day and age currently of MAGA, Liz Cheney is toxic and we must keep her shunned. Liz Cheney might be able to make a comeback. Let me say that. I could support Liz Cheney in the future. After Trump gets elected, hopefully in 2024, can only serve one term. 2028, that means he will be gone. Maybe Cheney could come back in 2030 to the House or the Senate or a cabinet post. You just have to keep her away from anything Trump. Her derangement is just so all-encompassing. She can't think straight. She's a snowflake when it comes to Trump. So I wanted to set all that up to say that because, yes, some lunatic in the GOP has floated her name for House Speaker. Are you kidding me? 2030? Get back to me. Times change. You have to adjust. You have to shift. I supported Kasich over G.W. Bush in that presidential primary because Kasich, coming out of the House, was still an actual conservative at that time. 2016, there was no way after Kasich's run as Ohio governor and continual movement left, more left. Kasich was not backable in 2016. So times change, people change. We must adjust. We must go with the flow with the go, if you will. All right, we're 20 minutes in. This was meant to be a weekday short drop, but I seem to be going on and on. So let me address the, if you see on YouTube or Rumble, again, at JLenardDetroit channel, behind the scenes, sneak peek, although this will be dropping on video and audio Tuesday the 17th all at once because it's a midweek special. I wrote down Uni-Party. Spare me the Uni-Party bull pucky. All right, I am trying to keep it clean. This is a Christian show. I want to keep it clean. I'm not above and beyond swearing, but let's not do that here. The Uni-Party nonsense, the deep state establishment, those are indeed the right terms. The CNOs, conservative in name only, Plenos, pro-life in name only, Rhinos, Republican in name only, and fascocrats, as you know I call them, comprise the establishment in the background, really running things deep state. I am a Republican, been since 78. I am a ChristiTutionalist, screwing up my own term. First and foremost, Republican only by necessity. Conservative, Republican only by necessity, because that's the only place we're going to get anything done, people. Understand that. And why the speaker battle matters, and to send the message. It's different. Time to come back, get our people back in mass and out supporting our ticket of conservatives for 2024, like we got Landry in Louisiana already. There are other great hints of wonderful things coming our way if we don't screw it up. And sending the same old, go along, get along, who's next in line, I fear sends the wrong message. So it's not a Uni-Party. There's a lot of great conservatives, or again, ChristiTutionalists like me, hopefully like you, if you're tuned in. Yes, please, I hope, like, share, subscribe. I hate when people beg, but like, share, subscribe. We need to increase our numbers, get the ChristiTutionalist message out. There are a lot of great folks like us. I'm a delegate. Are you a delegate? Why aren't you a delegate if you're not? If you're screaming from the cheap seats at the players, the coaches, the cheerleaders, the water boy, the first down marker guy on the field, you're doing nothing. You're virtue signaling online. You're doing nothing that really matters. What matters is suiting up and getting on the field to affect the outcome and the score of the game. And that's what it takes, being a GOP delegate, so you can go to your committee meetings. You vote for your committee members. You vote for nominees for the chair of the party. If you're complaining, it's all a Uni-Party, what have you done to matter, to make a difference? Not just whining and pretending you're so much better and above it all. You've got to be involved to make the difference. And now is the time. You must return to the party now, or if you've not been directly involved as a delegate, my Will Real Christians Save America piece on theforgenews.com, at JLenardDetroit, or thelibertybeacon.com. Joseph M. Lenard, again, it looks French, it's not Lenard, it's Leonard without an O. Put Joseph M. Lenard in the search field at thelibertybeacon.com. You could find the old Will Real Christians Save America from several months ago. I go into that 30 to 50 million Christians, if they're real Christians, which is why I've put out this podcast and the companion ChristiTutionalist Politics, the book, available anywhere and everywhere you get books, online, local store, direct through TerrorStrikes.info/shop, TerrorStrikes.info/shop. Get an autographed copy direct from me. If we get real Christians off the sideline, 2 Chronicles, kneel and pray and turn from your wicked ways, I shall hear and heal your land. It doesn't end at the pray part. Turn from your wicked ways means you, me, everybody must act. Show me, don't tell me. God is telling you, show me, don't just tell me. Don't just beg me to wave the magic wand and fix it all. You show me you're doing things to turn the land from wickedness, and I will then lend my holy hand to your effort. You shall be known by your fruits, not your empty hot air virtue signaling rhetoric online. Fruits you must sow to reap. If you sow nothing, then we are all eating the poison, rotten fruit others have sown, and we are now reaping. Do you all not get this point of this show and the book yet? If you take nothing away, that's it. You must get off the couch. You must be involved. You are partly responsible through complacency, you know, and I understand there's a lot of people watching who are very involved, like me since 78, fighting CINOs, rhinos, plinos, and fascocrats alike since 1978. So when I say you, I mean the general sense of you, those people out there that aren't involved must get involved if we're to make a difference. So I'm going to leave it at that. You can check out thelibertybeacon.com. Looking at the calendar again, Saturday, October 21st, the ChristiTutionalist Politics Season 1, Episode 18 will drop, called Odds and Ends. The corresponding thelibertybeacon.com piece will go into issues of the Uni-Party a little more. I've discussed this on Roger Landry's podcasts 3 different times about it's the deep state, not the Uni-Party thing. The left twists language. We must be careful and more precise in choosing our words and our language. Okay, I think I have rambled way too long now. Wasn't expecting to go this long. I've covered the items that I remembered to put down in my notes, and I'm sure there are things I was hoping to say that I forgot to even make a note on, because as you all know, not scripted, but yes, I do make notes so I could try to remember key talking points to put in. And speaking of talking points, unfortunately, Red State has now wiped all my old articles, but you could go to Before It's News and thelibertybeacon.com. I did recreate it there. A piece called The Party of No. You remember Schumer and them calling Republicans, they don't want to do anything. They're the party of no, N-O. I created the counter talking point. We are the party of K-N-O-W. And my friend Thaddeus McCarthy was in Congress at the time, liked that counter talking point, took that and got that into the nomenclature for a while. And in my opinion, we need to bring that back. The GOP is not the party of slower democratism, fascocratism. We are the party of KNOW, that we know the Constitution. We know the history of our country. We know we are a republic, not a democracy. We know better. We're not snowflakes. We think, we read, we educate, not just get indoctrinated by a leftist university with filled head full of complete Howard Zinn rewriting of history nonsense. Howard Zinn is fiction, people, not reality. So we are the party of KNOW. With that, didn't have that in my notes. It's just kind of a throw-in. So please, beforeitsnews.com, at JLenardDetroit, find the party of KNOW piece, or thelibertybeacon.com, Joseph M. Lenard in the search field. You'll have to scroll back several pages to get to that article, but by all means, it's worth reading. Please understand. Now is our opportunity. Let's not blow it. So Kevin Hearn, Byron Donalds, I mean, there are any number of other non-traditional next in line picks that we could. I heard Elise Stefanik floated. Now, I have some issues with her, but at this point, she's close with Trump. That could be yet another signal. Again, Elise Stefanik, what? Out of nowhere got into Congress not long ago. Out of nowhere now she's speaker. That would speak volumes to things are different. It's not the same. And then lastly, I'll throw in, there probably won't be a transcript to the show because, again, I'm putting this together right on Tuesday, October 17th, following the Jordan not getting speakership, the first go-round vote. He could still get it. I want to get this up and online right away, so I will be cutting a few corners. With that, I'm looking at the corner. I'm over 30 minutes now with the intro, the outro. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. I'm going to pull a Marco Rubio here. If you see on video, yeah, water bottle. Pardon that dead air, unless if you heard me gulping the water bottle, the water from the bottle. But anyway, 30 minutes in, longer than I expected to go. Key points, I hope I got them all covered. Please like, share, subscribe. I hate asking it, but it's the only way we're going to get these messages out. And Elise Stefanik, again, not perfect. I think farther than perfect than a Kevin Hearn or even a Byron Donalds would be, but a definite signal saying this is not the same old GOP. And that's what the speaker battle is about. So call your representatives and let them know enough of the same old. We want somebody different, somebody unique, somebody new, somebody that absolutely signifies the same old GOP way of doing things is dead and buried forevermore going forward. All right, I will start rambling again. So with that, I will bid you all a fond adieu. Not a fondue, a fond adieu. You all know me too. I can't pass on the lame pun, the bad joke. TheLibertyBeacon.com. The need to keep a sense of humor. You can find that article there and also beforeitsnews.com. Don't Google. You won't find any of my articles on Google. DuckDuckGo, Jibberoo, FreeSpoke. You can find what I've written there. You won't find it at Google. It suppresses the results. And there's a Before It's News piece I just updated today on Before It's News about Google censorship. So you can go to beforeitsnews.com at JLenardDetroit. I'm sorry, I know it's getting to the point of annoyance that I am repeating it, but we get new people tuning in each time, and I got to get those points across. Google censorship under at JLenardDetroit on Before It's News. Look that up. I just also updated earlier today. Really, GOP? Now you want to pretend to go at fascocrats? Which is when, right after McCarthy got ousted, they started kicking Democrats out of the House offices? Now you want to pretend to be tough? Yeah. Let's get our house in order, so to speak. A good, new, different, off-the-wall, non-traditional speaker of the House, and then indeed go at the fascocrats full force and hard. I don't care that we don't control the U.S. Senate. Of course, we're not going to get a whole lot. You know, what we pass in the House is what matters. And if the Senate sits on it, that's our talking points for 2024, to take control of the Senate and toss a lot of fascocrats out of the Senate. We need to have show votes, if you want to call it that, a balanced budget amendment vote, any and everything else, term limits, amendment vote. Vote on all of it. It's not going to go anywhere in the Senate, but show, don't tell, show things are different. Okay, I promise. I promise. This time, I'm actually waving goodbye for real. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for having tuned in for ChristiTutionalist Politics show. If you haven't already, please check out my primary internationally available book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you, available anywhere books are sold. If you have locally run bookstores still near you, they can order it for you, or autographed copies are available online direct from me via TerrorStrikes.info/shop. And please tune in to Savage Unfiltered podcast, of which I am a co-host. And be sure to check out more about today's discussion at thelibertybeacon.com, where my articles drop every Saturday. And let me remind, over time, the fancy high production items will come. But for now, for starters, it's just you as a very appreciated listener by me. Indeed, just me on the podcast side end of things. All substance, no fluff, no fancy high production intro or inserts, at least yet, just straight to key discussion points. A show that looks at a variety of topics, mostly politics, through a Christian U.S. constitutionalist lens. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart, as I know you have over 168.9 million plus podcasts out there you could choose from. Thank you again so much for tuning into mine. Take care. God bless.